Hello everybody and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am the Outback Al.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
I'm Envy Jitters.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And okay, so it's been a long week, but we're here. We're almost through this whole fucking thing, which is great. We finished up the Monster Friends category this week. We had Yo-kai Watch going up against Digimon. Last week, who won? Yu-Gi-Oh! Over Cardfight Vanguard, if I'm remembering right. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so we gotta get the rest of the final four, and we're gonna pick one of them today. So, I feel like we've gone over generally what these were before and what our familiarity was with them. So, let's just get into it. What do we? I think we're starting with Yo-kai Watch, right?
Sure.
Okay. So, oh god, I'm realizing I didn't write down my stuff. Goodness.
Oh no.
Well, plots.
Well, I mean, basically, this was. I don't even want to say this was like episode of the week. It was like 6 or 7 stories within like these 3 episodes of like misadventures of yokai, basically.
I mean, to be fair, every one of these is like half episodes or even third episode
Yeah.
kind of situations. So, yeah, you end up with a lot of stuff. What did we see this week with them? There was a hat that ate your memories, which is actually kind of terrifying when you really think about it.
A super competitive cat thing.
Yeah, there was a punching lion guy.
We had a lot of stories for Mangy Mutt, even though that kind of turned downhill really quickly for me.
Yeah.
Is he out of
Sad
jail?
old man story.
You know, I think he's only.
Oh yeah.
I think he's only held in jail like for a little while at a time. Like it's not like a long-term thing.
He's not constantly in jail.
He needs to be.
He should be.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe yeah.
we'll get to that.
Like, we can get into that in characters.
And then we had a story where the 3 guys are trying to get to the basically the equivalent of Skinamax back in the day, although it's girls in cat suits.
I mean,
at a water park, I'm assuming.
What else are elementary schoolers going to look at?
Yeah.
They don't know about the better
illusion yokai.
Oh, yeah,
the Valentine's Day
playground
one.
thing. I genuinely forgot most of this. That says bad things.
It's like my
For me.
memories
I watched
now
it.
are fresh.
I watched it a couple days ago, so it's still kind of fresh.
I watched these yesterday.
Oh, well,
It's not great. The prognosis is bad for
Yeah.
the show.
The
Yeah.
convenience store one was like actually sad though.
You know what? I will give it
Yeah.
that much.
I think only for part of it, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, it
just the
still
end.
has to be silly for kids.
I think. Well, you know what? We can. I think at this point we've kind of said everything that happens. It's a show about nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Why don't we just get into it? Why don't we start with plot? Kozi, you're leading us. Do you wanna do that?
Plot, it is just hard full nay here. There is really no plot. A lot of the stories are just kind of weird. Everything with Mangy Mutt is super fucking gross and uncomfortable now. And I feel like even like Nate as the protagonist is kind of like losing his significance in the overall plot, which is kind of like a weird thing to be going on.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry.
I have nothing for this show,
Yeah,
sorry.
I feel like you usually talk more. I'm like, wow, that says. I mean, the fact that you're not saying as much says so much more almost. Yeah, I'm a light nay here. I don't think they're doing anything like wrong. It's just not interesting. I know you said you didn't like Mangy Mutt. I honestly think I'd be finding the show a lot more interesting if it was just about him. Like, at the very least, he's going out and doing things and, like...
He's too weird for me, I don't know.
It needs workshopped a little bit.
Yeah, he
But
needs
I think-
a lot
Get
of
into
help.
it in characters.
I think there's a show there. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called
Maybe.
Chris Hansen's.
Well, alright. Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
A couple of those spots got a little touchy. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm so glad everyone reminded me of what these episodes were about, because I forgot half of them.
It was a struggle to remember.
And part of it, I think what it might be is that the show is probably a lot better week to week, because it's like, you see 2 or 3 little vignettes, essentially, per episode. Which is good if it's just like 1 week and you're like, oh, we saw these 2 yokai, blah, blah, blah. And you can kind of remember that. Watching 3 of these back to back, and I don't know if I mentioned this before when we did it last time, it's like they all blur together because every single one of them is the exact same plot. So, yeah. They're not doing anything like really offensive to me, but it's just not good.
Does anybody remember that Lilo and Stitch show?
Yes.
On Disney Channel?
Yeah,
Yes.
Lilo and Stitch meets Pokemon. That's a way better version of this show.
That's basically this show, but like kind of more fun. But it's very episodic, more so than Pokemon. I feel like Pokemon, they're on an adventure a little bit, but Lilo and Stitch is like this. It's like every week it's the same thing. It's just a different alien. It's just a different experiment. And
I gotta be
feel
real
like
with you. I don't like that you're insulting the Lilo and Stitch
the
series
Lilo
so
and Stitch
much.
series was pretty good, but I'm
Yeah.
saying it's the same kind of plot, just done a little bit better. You
Okay,
know?
alright.
But that's kind of how I feel about the plot. I think it's fine. I think it's serviceable and it does what it's trying to do. So I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's just not to my taste. Maybe I'm just too old for it, you know? So, yeah, I'd give it like a light nay to a meh, because I think it does what it sets out to do. It's just not something that I personally want to watch.
I'm gonna give this like a light nay. I've kind of found this a little bit lackluster, mostly because it is entirely very formulaic. I don't know. I just don't really have a whole lot to say about this other than like I was just bored in like a bad way. It's not like I'm just bored because there's like an overarching plot that I'm just disinterested in. I'm bored because like they keep doing the same shit.
For me, it's kind of a meh because, in all honesty, I had different opinions on the different segments. The stuff with Hug Gramps and his granddaughter, I actually thought that was very sweet. I thought, you know what, it's cheesy, but you know what, it's heartwarming. And the fact that the granddaughter, she was never a bitch to her grandfather. She just lost contact with him as she got older, as happens in life. But she still had that little toy that he gave her from the grocery store. I thought, you know what, that's kind of sweet. I that was pretty heartwarming. I'll give it that. Everything with Manji-Mutt, I know we're gonna all save that for characters, but everything with Manji-Mutt I did not like because his stories got progressively worse and creepier as they went along. The stuff with Hat that can steal your memories, that's kind of very scary if you think about it. Kind of like as I mentioned, the kids trying to watch the after hours program. I liked that. I was kind of meh on the illusion thing because it's Nate pretty much dissing his friends. How come they could get girls to like him and not me? And then we find out that 2 of the 3 of them were fooled by an illusion. And so yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag for me. There were some things I enjoyed. There were some things I didn't.
I'm also gonna give it a meh. It just is silly, but it's not super captivating. Nothing great is going on. Yeah, end of thought.
Okay. I have a question, because I shared these with you guys on the thing, and they didn't work for me when I brought them back up. Did anyone watch this on YouTube at ×2 speed?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I did.
But to your point earlier, where this might have worked better as a week-to-week format, watching it, I had to look it up because this is only a vague memory, but by the time it started airing in the United States, they were airing this every single morning.
Yeah, but I think at the very least having 24 hours between each viewing might be enough that they're not all blurring into one sort of beige blob of boring.
It's too much.
Probably. Well, I'll take us into characters. Maybe that'll liven things up a little bit. I think what you guys said about the grandpa was about right. He was probably the most... I can't say interesting. That would imply someone in the show is interesting. I guess, yeah, I think you guys said sentimental. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I think there's a huge amount of wasted potential with that hat. Because that genuinely, you know, you take it a little further, you got like an actual like ghost stories ghost, and some of those were freaky. Like that could be interesting. But yeah,
nope, just forgetting about
already forgotten.
Used. No, it's basically used to get Kate to forget that Nate said he looks fat by eating a giant hoagie.
Yeah. Nate sucks. I got no other way to really put, like, granted, it's kind of built into the plot a little bit, but I feel like this kid is like, any problem in my life is not my fault or anyone else's fault. It's an evil ghost. And
well, they
this
say
might
that
be
right in the opening.
No, I know, but like, this might be like a weird take, but I feel like if this is a kid show, it might be teaching kids, don't take responsibility for anything. Obviously, some evil ghost is doing it, and nothing is your fault.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that every single time it is a ghost, it is a
yes. So it's reinforcing that.
Yeah.
Like I did something bad, or I'm acting like this, or this thing happened, or like I'm not responsible for my actions. It was a ghost. Like that's maybe not a good lesson. Like I get, I don't know. I don't even know where I should be talking about this. I just, I'm like some work, some don't. It's really going to depend on the episode. I'll give it a meh, I guess. Nate does suck though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kinda nay on characters. I'm not really attached to any of them, and although I liked the yokai at first, most of them have become irritating or downright awful at this point. I'm looking at the dog. All the other yokai are just like kinda meh to kinda annoying now. Like, I don't know why, but I just liked them better in the other episodes. Other than Grandpa, who is nice, as others have said. But everything else was just not my cup of tea, so I'm gonna give it a nay.
Oh my god. We completely forgot one of the episodes.
Oh, the mosquito.
Oh! See, we don't remember anything, so...
Mosquito?
The hat got to us.
Yeah, the anxiety mosquito. Which they did better in Big Mouth.
Yikes. That's
and then
saying something.
The Exorcist. Did we do that either?
Oh, right. There was an See, we're all
Yeah,
forgetting
why were there
this.
so many episodes?
Because we watched 3 episodes.
It must have all been like 5 minutes.
Yeah, there was like 2 to 3 individual stories per episode. So we watched anywhere between 6 and 9 different stories.
Wow.
And we don't remember any of them.
That's why they got mushed together.
Boy, I might have to drop light nay to nay on plot, actually. I can't even fucking remember any of this.
That's fair.
So, I'ma also give characters a light nay. I kind of am just sort of like, what? Not that I'm like, what? But more, I'm just getting bored. I have nothing else to say. Honestly, there are too many characters. Like, I don't get to spend time with anybody. Let me spend some time with them. 10 minutes is not enough.
But you want to spend more time with these characters?
Please don't put that on us.
Well, if you want me to actually, like, grow attached, because Nate's a little shit.
Yeah.
Not even the good kind. Yeah.
We'll get there.
I don't know where I am, to tell you the truth, because as far as Nate is concerned, Kozi's going to get this reference. He's voiced by Johnny on Bosch.
I get that reference.
He's the main character and the main antagonist in Persona 4. So every single time I talked, I hear you, Narukami, and I hear Adachi. Yeah, I hear that, and it's like I cannot unhear that. So I'm just imagining
I really
Adachi.
only hear Adachi.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
He kind of spoke with like that higher cadence.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. I'm just hearing the psychotic serial killer from Persona 4 as a 13-year-old boy, or however old he is, in this universe. But yeah, Nate's kind of a little shit. Yeah, I didn't mind him in the first 3 episodes, but that's kind of a theme. It's like I didn't mind you much in the first. I didn't mind you in the first 3 episodes, but then yeah, because Mangy Mutt, I went from feeling bad for him in the first 3 episodes to, yeah, maybe you should be in jail because you're kind of a creep. Like each job, quote unquote, that you do, trying to get girls is creepier than the last. So it's like, yeah, maybe you should stay in the psych ward a little bit, pal. Get some therapy. Kate is kind of a non-existent character, which is weird because I did some research. In the games, you can either choose to either play as Nate or Kate.
I thought that.
Female
I
choose.
thought that.
So,
we were looking at them like, okay, these are your gendered player characters.
So yeah, the story is kind of the same.
Bear and Eddie actually have like much stronger bearing in the story in the games.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Nate and Kate's names were so close until you said that.
Oh, Jesus.
Fun fact. There's like over 4 anime of this a series, and in the future they actually get married and have 2 kids. So I get you put that image in your heads. I'm
assuming they're older, so it's not that creepy.
Yes. It takes place like 20 years in the future, something like that. Anyway, the only character that really I liked is Whisper, the main, his assistant, because I find his dialogue pretty funny because he's kind of like the only one taking this seriously, and every single time he almost gets like, well, you gotta take life as you gotta take responsibility in your life. Nope, it's just a yokai, and he just gets so deflated over it. I kind of like that juxtaposition, but yeah, it's kind of a Whisper is the only thing that's making me give this a meh overall. And also some of the other yokai, as I mentioned last time, they are cool when they're first introduced to see, what their powers are and how they affect human society.
Yeah, I'm gonna give characters a light A. Pretty much what everybody else has said so far. But also, one thing that wasn't mentioned, when Mangy Mutt was working in the bakery, for a couple moments, he had a dog face. And it was somehow worse than a man face.
Yeah, because the smell of the sweet cream puffs bring out the apparent primal urge of the dog.
I'm going to be real with you. I was hoping he was going to go for the chocolate one. Because I think we know something bad would have happened.
That would have moved us up to a light yay.
I mean, it was kind of funny. He was just drooling over, and as soon as he went to grab one, the police were just like there.
See, that kind of thing I think is, well, I'll save it.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add about any of the other characters.
Okay. Insert Bernie Sanders meme. I am once again a full hard nay. So one of the things you guys didn't talk about with Mangy Mutt is it's not just women he's trying to pick, it's specifically like underage girls. When he gets his fantasy illusion in the episode with the illusion yokai, it's high schoolers that are coming after him.
Yeah, super weird.
Yeah.
And let's be reminded, this man had a wife and a child.
Yeah.
He's like at least 40.
Yeah.
Nate out there actively gaslighting his fucking parents into thinking his home is like possessed by ghosts, and then being like, no, nothing's wrong.
Well, to be fair, the guy was literally about to exorcise Whisper and the cat, so he had to save him.
Jibanyan, who I would argue is probably the series' most, like, iconic mascot. He started out okay, like, he wasn't a great character, he was just cute. And now he's just fucking annoying and perverted. Which I feel like when that's your series mascot, that's a huge issue. You have an unlikable protagonist, you have an unlikable mascot, you have an unlikable cast of characters, or you don't spend enough time with characters that have the potential to be likable. Like, they could have done more with Hungramps. And I feel like we would have been okay with that, and that might have actually been a good episode, but because this is kind of production, so I should stop. But, like, we got to spend so little time with him that, honestly, did we actually really care that he's sad he didn't get to see his granddaughter? Because do we actually care about Hungramps? Or the hat being sad that nobody's his friend because everybody forgets about him? Like, we just don't have enough time with the cast, and what time we do have is building up these characters to be unlikable. There, I thought this time and gave it more words.
Use your words.
Yeah. I think had we gotten more just random jobs that weren't all about being pervy, Meiji might have a good series. In every single episode, he just gets thrown in jail at the end for some random reason.
Well,
maybe
okay,
maybe the cops in
look-
Adam 12 would have characters themselves.
If you look at, like, let's take, like, Pokemon, for example. The newest game had a gym leader introduced who's just a normal, everyday salaryman, and people fucking love him.
Yeah.
If they would have just had Mangy-Mutt still be that normal, kinda depressed salaryman, he would have been a very likable character.
I think it's very easy for everyone to identify with depressed characters nowadays. That might be part of it.
That are just struggling with, like, the work grind.
Yeah.
Instead, they had to go all American Beauty on us.
Ugh. Oh god,
I mean, that's
he does
kind
look
of
like
the
Kevin
trope
Spacey.
of drunk
little bit.
Oh,
salarymen.
Jesus.
Fucking high schoolers?
Trying to.
Trying to grape high schoolers.
Yeah.
It's never, like, consensual. It's usually grape situations.
Moving on. Let's talk about advertising. Yin?
Like, I think it's still doing fine. I think it's still doing the same as it did before. I mean, it's certainly advertising the little yokai in the game. I don't think it's doing poorly in that necessarily. I think I just do feel so much more annoyed with the yokai now. And I feel like there's just so many of them and we get so little time with them, like what everybody said, that it's just not as convincing, you know, because now they've all piled up and we barely remember who they are. So it's just like, it's hard to feel attached to them or feel like we want to have this yokai now that there's just a lot and they only give them like 10 minutes. I feel like maybe it would be better if they dedicate a whole episode to each yokai. So I think that advertising, I think I gave it a good rating last time. I think I'm going to give it more like a meh now. Because I think it's still doing some things right, but I think there's just not enough. So I'm just kind of like light nay to a meh, somewhere in that range.
I'm gonna give it a nay. And I think mostly, like, my problem with this is the fact that, like, this is more... So what I feel like this show is, I feel like it's more supplementary material for the game.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is, I feel like, I don't know what the gameplay for these games is like necessarily. I don't know if it's like a visual novel.
No,
because
very
if it's a visual
Pokemon.
novel. What? It's like Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay, so, because, like, if we're supposed to be, like, just catching the yokai, the thing about that is, this is more explaining to us what these yokai are, what their powers are, like, giving them more time and, like, sort of, like, fleshing out, quote-unquote, like, these yokai. Like, this is more something that is like, hey, here's more information on all these things that you can catch. Like, this just feels not like the game. And I feel like if they were trying to advertise more for the game, then they should have had it be more, I don't know, adventurous and, you know, have, like, maybe a little more stakes. Instead of it being very formulaic. Granted, I know Pokemon the anime was also very much the same thing. However, Pokemon had an overarching plot of Ash trying to win all the badges. Whereas Yo-kai Watch, I don't really think we're really doing anything right now other than just catching yokai. And we're not even, like, spending a whole lot of time with the yokai. So, as far as supplemental materials go, it's kind of poor. So, yeah. as far as like advertising goes, it's definitely not making me want to play the game. And if anything, it's just kind of like maybe making me even more disinterested.
I'm just kind of a meh overall. Like, I still find the concept of yokai pretty interesting, and like I said, I do like the idea of exploring how yokai affect society in a very, TVY7 format. Obviously, you can get very, 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 very dark with yokai to be like a TV MA series. Like I said, I think if you have little kids and, you like Pokemon, I'm sure little kids will, find an attachment to it. It's just kind of a meh for me overall. Like, it's not the worst show I've seen, and it's definitely I'm definitely more interested in the series than I am for other stuff we've seen in this tournament, but I wouldn't go out of my way to immediately get it.
Envy, I actually have a question for you, because last time you said it was interesting because it was teaching you about, like, real yokai, but most everything we saw this time was, like, made up. Does that, like, affect your opinion at all? That we're not actually learning about real yokai?
I didn't know it was real yokai. I didn't know that they were fake yokai, to tell you the truth. I don't know, not really, I guess. I mean, I guess there's only so many yokai you can show in a kid's show. Like, I forget the name of it, but the giant-ass skeleton monster that eats people at night. Yeah, you obviously can't show that in a kid's show.
Like the flaming wheel thing?
Love that as a kid.
No, not the flaming wheel of death. Like the giant-ass skeleton that, like, eats people. I forget what it's called. But, yeah, I don't know. Not really.
You didn't want the Kappa to start, like, reaching up through people's toilets and pulling their intestines out their asshole while they're trying to take a poop?
If that was like a Junji Ito show, maybe, but not for a kid's show.
Junji Ito's Yo-kai Watch. That I want to watch.
I'm gonna give advertising a nay. Mostly because I'm thinking about, like, catching them all, and I don't want most of these characters to be had by me. You know?
Yeah.
These aren't your fun little dudes.
These are not my cute little guys. I don't want a mangy mutt. I think that encompasses it, really. These are not cute little guys, and I do not want to collect them all.
See, I'm kind of torn because, like, I personally, like, for myself would say this is a nay, but, like, obviously I had the siblings who played this. I had the siblings who were really into Yo-kai Watch, so I know it was a successful franchise, but on the same hand, I feel like I agree with Chibi that this was purely supplemental, that maybe this wasn't really advertising the games. It was more for people who were already into it to kind of just, like, get more content. Because I feel like if you had no knowledge of Yo-kai Watch and then you watched this show, it wouldn't necessarily make you want to go play the games, which are, like, battle, brawl, and beat 'em up to catch 'em, like, and collect them all. We have not seen, like, an actual fight in this series. Which, yes, it's a kid's show, but it's also a kid's game, and you are beating the shit out of the yokai in it. So I guess I'll give it, like, a light nay. I feel like a lot of their advertising success was probably in their actual commercials versus this show specifically.
I'm gonna be real. I was gonna give this a light yay, and then you guys beat me down into a meh. It's like, overall, I feel like the show does what it should do. It presents a new product every single episode, vignette, whatever we're gonna call it. It keeps bringing up the coins, the watch, all the accoutrements that presumably you utilize in this game universe, whatever you want to, all your little things. And, you know, it's got, like, the earworm song. I fucking hate the songs. But,
they're terrible.
You know, if I was 5, like, flashing colors, loud sounds. Yeah, it gets in your head, which is good. But then I'm thinking back, like, I don't remember any of these fuckers. And part of that's a plot issue. But it's also like if your whole plot revolves around introduce new thing that you're supposed to buy, and I don't remember what any of them are, it's like, wow, you didn't do a good job. Like, I feel like everything, the formula's here. The formula's here and the formula's good. But what they're plugging into the formula ain't working. And maybe that's partially because I'm not a 5-year-old.
I think that's a lot of it.
But, I don't know. I feel like... yeah. I just give it a meh. I think we're moving on to production. Chibi, what do you think?
Production was fine. I'll give it a light yay. Nothing, like, horrendous. But, you know. As before, it's late, and my brain has stopped working, and I put all of my energy into that spiel for advertising.
Yeah, I don't think it's horribly animated. Like I said, I think the yokai look cool for what they are, but it's nothing that's groundbreaking either. It's just kind of there. I will say that. I think the English dub for the most part is fine. It's okay, I guess. I got nothing spectacular. I guess to talk about the elephant in the room, I both love and hate that ending credits song at the same time because it's definitely an earworm, and it definitely gets stuck in your head, and it's definitely catchy. I do like the main part of the chorus, but at the same time, it is a fucking earworm, and it does get stuck in your head, and it is annoying. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a meh overall for everything.
I'll give it a light yay. Like, it looked fine. Just, God, both the opening and the closing songs, I was singing a weird combination of the two. All day. All week. And doing the stupid little dances.
Maybe advertising was better than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna have to give it a nay. I maintain my position from last time that this really feels like a soulless cash grab, and it shows. Like, the pacing is all off. You can tell, like, they didn't have the budget for a lot of things, which is why we never see, like, any of the actual battles or gameplay. Like, they don't give it any time to, like, build any sort of meaningful connection with the characters, or with even the world itself. I feel like we still don't even have a strong grasp of understanding on what this universe is supposed to be. And if you have to, like, come into this from already having knowledge from the games instead of just being able to come into it, like, with no knowledge, that's like an automatic fail on my part. Like, the animation's okay. I really don't like the songs for as much as they're earworms. Like, God, they're fucking annoying. In the opening, still, like, how it changes genre, like, 3 separate times. Like, it's weird. And I checked, and it's, like, an exact adaptation from the Japanese one, which is weirder. Like, it was just an odd choice.
Yeah, I feel you. I hate both those songs. Especially the ending. I don't know what it is. It's a combination of, like, coming off of, like, 2D animation instantly into just bad 3D, like, 3DS animation that I'm just like, ugh, I don't like it.
I am convinced they did not adapt that at all, or, like, it was just, like, a direct port from the DS game.
I'm sure, but I don't like it. Everything else
that kid with jaundice is so much fun.
Everything else is just kind of, whatever. It's like, it's there. It's, passable. The dub really didn't have any really good lines this time around, which kind of sucks, because that was, like, the one thing that they had a couple funny lines here and there, and I feel like they just dropped the ball on these ones. So, yeah, just a meh.
Yeah, I felt similarly that not much really stuck out to me, but I would say I don't know. I think the animation's cute, and I think it fits the tone. I don't have any real complaints except that opening and ending are terrible. I just can't stand them. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me for the most part. I would say overall it's like a meh to a light yay. But I'd say overall just like a meh for production.
Okay. Envy, do you want to take us into final thoughts? I'm starting to yawn just thinking about this show, honestly.
Well, I'll just say this. I'm probably going to be the only one that gives this rating for this show, but I give Final Thoughts a meh. Like, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing, I guess, not even more episodes, but like some clips of the episodes to see what different yokai are introduced. I didn't hate the show. I had some fun watching it, but there were also some segments that I thought dragged or were just really icky. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me. I'm expecting straight nays across the board for the remaining 5 of you. Yeah, 5. So let's commence the nays.
My dude, my guy, I don't think you could have clips of this show. They're too short. This show is just clips. Oh, be contrarian and give it a light nay. It's
Still an A.
okay.
That's not contrarian.
Still an A. A contrarian would be like, I give it a full yay.
Give it a
Moving
yay.
I feel like Envy specifically said full nays. Didn't he?
No, he just said nays.
Just said nay? Light nay counts? Then okay. I think it would be very fun to get drunk and watch the rest of the show and be mean about it. So I won't give it
we get drunk enough and then we do the ending dance together.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll pass.
So I won't give it a full nay because of that. Like, I think it could be fun. It's probably fun for kids. We're just not at that stage.
I mean, I've given nays across the board, so I can't be anything else here. I did not enjoy my time with this. I would not like to see more. Like, if this somehow miraculously moved on, like, I'm dipping.
You're just leaving the whole competition.
I'm gone.
Are you leaving the tournament or the podcast?
Pick one.
I'm leaving the country. Like, being, like, in this country with you guys, if this somehow moves on, that's too close.
Wow.
See, normally for a show like this, it's not, like, egregiously horrible to me, but it's also not, like, you know, great in any way. I would probably normally give this a light nay, but honestly, having talked about this with you guys now, and you brought up Lilo and Stitch, and we've been talking about
better
Pokemon.
version of this.
Here's
show.
the thing. It is the better version of this. And like I said, there's a formula here that should work. And it's not. And I know part of that is I'm probably too old for this show. This is just, you know, bright colors, flashing lights, and sound for the kids to, you know, shut up for a few minutes while, you know, mom and dad go do something. But I feel like there's real potential for this to be an actual good show, and it just isn't. It's almost not in defiance, you know? That's why I'm giving it a full nay, because I'm just like, I kind of almost had some fun with it the first week, I think. But now it's just like, wow, you like, there's nothing else here, man. Why?
I think this is the first nay you've given.
It can't be.
Oh, maybe Bakugan.
I had to have given nays before. I know that much. But yeah, it's almost full nay just because, like, I could see what you could be, and I'm disappointed in you even more now.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
I am disappointed. We should watch Lilo and Stitch.
That was pretty good.
Yes.
It's basically an anime.
Yeah. Well, the TV show, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There
other
was a Lilo and
things-
Stitch anime too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
other
that
things
was...
in this category,
I
I
did not
think
see
we
that.
could give the game a fair shot.
Maybe we'll play the game at some point and give that a fair shot, but yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give it a nay. I just have no real desire to continue watching this. I just feel very bored as I watch it, and I don't know, maybe I would have liked it as a very small child. As it is right now, I don't feel like it holds up to the test of time. Like, as kids grow up, like, sometimes there are some shows that we are really nostalgic about and they hold up really well. And even ones where I've seen them as an adult, even if I didn't grow up with it as a child, and I still was like, oh, this is a good show, you know, even though I'm technically out of the age range. But this one, I don't know, it just, I feel like only small children could really truly enjoy it and be invested in it. So I just personally have no desire, so it's a nay.
It's just lights and noise. I'm not ADHD enough to enjoy the show.
No. Not quite.
I'm giving this a nay. I think it went downhill. It got weird. It got creepy. And I don't want to be here anymore.
This shit's fucking Caillou, man. Anywho.
I mean, Caillou grew up to be Krillin in most theories.
No.
Yeah, but Krillin was actually cool.
Don't you disrespect Krillin like that.
Or Saitama.
No, that's
Don't you disrespect Saitama.
Like,
yes,
Krillin is like a
No,
kind of
that's the
character
old-
that's fun
No,
to
there's-
disrespect. Saitama's not.
There's a theory about what happened to Caillou. I'm not going to talk about it because it's very, very, very dark.
I'm sure it's the same one of why Charlie Brown looks the way he does.
No. I hadn't heard that about Charlie Brown.
They had an episode about it. Honestly, that was a really good Charlie Brown episode. That was really, like, hits you a little bit.
Wait, they had an episode about it?
Yeah.
Okay, is it not what I'm thinking?
The girl with the hat?
Oh. So, okay, it wasn't about Charlie
hit him
Brown.
as a baby?
What?
What? Wait, you said why he looks like that? There's an episode, and then you said the girl with the bat?
With the hat.
Hat.
Yeah. I think it was more of a Linus episode.
Oh my god.
Okay.
We should move on.
Yeah, this is Patreon content.
Growing up is not so tough. You said, when I've had enough.
I've not had enough of you. I've had enough of you now. We're moving on. Digimon.
Get a bun.
No.
Hey, Kozi, anytime you want to just, like, you know, grab a bat. And to be fair, I said bat.
I have been asking for how many weeks now for help hiding a body?
Well, we'll be over right away. But first, we got to talk about Digimon. So, Digimon, what happened to Digimon? We went to 3 different places, and 3 Digimon digivolved, and we're moving along like we're pretty much hitting that stride of the show where it's like, hey, we've introduced all these characters in the first episode. Now each of them has to get their special thingy. Everyone's gonna get an episode, and these episodes were Sora and Piomon's, Izzy and Tentomon, and then and Mimi and Palmon's, or Togemon, or whatever. They change around a little bit.
We've also started to get our actual, like, plot emerging in the form of the Black Gears, which are what's making the Digimon act all crazy.
Yeah, so why don't we talk about that? First they go to the desert and find a bunch of poles, and then a bunch of talking flowers that one of them used to be, and there's a village, and then a volcano erupts because a giant, naked, flaming man got a giant, mind-controlling black gear stuck in his chest, and he decided, I'm gonna burn everybody alive. I don't know how people compared this to Pokemon. So, yeah. Comes down, time to fight. Little Pink Bird turns into a giant phoenix with teeth, which is still a little weird to me. I don't like birds with teeth.
It's weird.
I don't like birds with teeth.
But also, the little bird almost gets cooked first.
True. I'm trying to think. What birds have teeth? Don't geese have teeth?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like...
Yeah.
Horror.
You ever see a geese, like, close up with their mouths?
I know to keep my distance from geese.
I mean, it might not technically be teeth, but their bills are serrated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Say it like that. It's so much better.
I'm picturing, like, a jaw of human teeth.
No. Like, the bills are, like, serrated.
We
like
have saw blades for beaks.
Like dentist Pooh Bear,
I don't know what that means. I don't care. Anyway, then they leave because they save the day, and they go to a machine manufacturing place, which I gotta be real. I got Terminator 2 vibes. at the end.
It was like Terminator 2 mixed with RoboCop.
Yes, RoboCop.
Yeah.
Love RoboCop.
Yeah.
So you've got the hand spike thing. I was waiting for him to say, "Your move, punk." Yeah, so Izzy's time to do his thing. We get a little bit of a peek into his backstory a little bit. He's got a bit of a thing going on with his home life. We don't exactly know what yet. That will be revealed later. But something's going on with his parents, and he apparently, you know, has some baggage, and that's why he absorbs himself into his computer. He walks inside of a battery with it's also a Rosetta Stone, and then shuts down power to the whole place, turns it back on, which turns on RoboCop, who also is crazy now, attacks people, and then he digivolves his bug into an even gianter, honestly pretty ugly, but also awesome-looking bug. I'm gonna be real with you.
Envy, how you feeling about that bug?
How you feeling about that? It ain't no Kawagamon, but Kabaterimon ain't bad.
Ooh. What is that horror you just dropped in chat?
It's Pooh Bear, but with human teeth.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No. And I am not, don't worry. People online, I am not putting that in there. No, you don't need to see that. That is bad.
That's what I was picturing, but like a goose.
No, moving on. Moving the fuck on.
Before you move on, I would like to point out that in most of these episodes, like, the enemy they're fighting against is just another champion rank Digimon.
But Andromon's is ultimate.
Yeah, so he is a level above, so more people actually digivolved in this episode specifically, but they got their asses kicked by him.
That's true.
Because he's a higher evolution.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because Monzaemon is also an ultimate level Digimon. The giant teddy bear, speaking of Pooh. Yeah, he's an ultimate level.
I thought he was just a champion.
Nope, ultimate. And yeah, so in a later episode, after they leave the factory through the sewers, a bunch of giant slug people throw shit at them. They can call it pink sludge all they want. They recolored it. It is literally shit that they are throwing at them.
Yeah.
And then they get kidnapped by a giant stuffed animal with laser vision and hypnotized into being the toys of other toys. So this is ultimately where Toy Story, the movie, like, after 5, 6, 7, whatever, Toy Story 9 is when the toys take over, and it becomes Terminator. That's just my theory. But I think it'll work. But yeah, so Mimi and Palmon have to figure out what to do, and they turn into a giant boxing cactus and beat up the teddy bear. But then everything's cool.
Also, the slimes are, like, in love with Mimi, which is weird.
Yet again, another weakest simps.
God damn it.
We can't escape it. It's always there.
No, she was actually a dick to them, and they were still simping at the end.
Wow, what a woman.
That is true simp behavior.
Yep. She's got a... You know what? She could be a Twitch streamer, probably, at this point. She's got, like, a bunch of fans who she's mean to, but, like, still love her anyway for some reason.
Mimi would sell bathwater.
Oh my god, let's not go down this route. She's still technically in elementary school.
Nah, she would eventually become a VTuber.
Honestly, I'll show you guys a picture of her in the second series. It's exactly what she becomes.
You're talking about the pink hair, right?
Yeah, the pink hair with the stars in it. I don't know how you did that. Yeah, so we should talk. Let's talk the plot. I think we covered everything, unless I missed something. I don't think that I did. They keep bringing up aliens, but we know that's not the case yet. Cece, what would you think of the plot?
The plot was fine. I'm still super stressed out watching this show. I don't think that's gonna change.
What stressed you out about it?
They're children. they're
it's the survivor
world.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah.
With no more sources of food.
Yeah. It's just, they're unsupervised. They probably picked up so many diseases from these animals.
Hey, to be fair, they're computer viruses.
Oh, it can become so Lord of the Flies, too.
All you need to do is fight a pig's head.
Oh, no.
trying to think when the pig Digimon shows up.
I guess I'll give it a light yay. It definitely has a plot, and it's going somewhere. I'm just not having a great time on the ride. I'm like car sick over here.
Okay, I don't think they egregiously do anything to the children until later on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is all pretty minor, I think. As far as, like, stories where, like, kids are on their own and they're trying to, like, survive. Also, aren't they, like, in the digital world?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
At this point, would that really matter?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they die there, like, it's their real bodies in there.
Yeah.
You dying again.
They've been transformed into electrical signals, I don't know, ones and zeros, something like that. Think about this. It's Cyber Chase rules.
I am also a light yay. I feel like the plot, like, we've really hit the episodic nature right now. Just because they're trying to give each Digimon and their Digidestined, like, an episode to, like, shine and have their characterization. So the plot itself is a little weak because they're just trying to find ways to shoehorn that in. But also, it's still nicely tied together and divulging a little bit about what the greater story is. While it's doing that, it's just fallen by the wayside, so they can really establish these characters right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement there. Light yay. This is, everybody gets an episode, and it'll probably be that way for a while, and then after that we'll likely get a major plot point. I have seen this show, so I know what's coming, but at the same time, I'm trying to look at this if I hadn't watched this before. Fairly obvious how they've been going about it and how they've been doing it. So presumably next, like, Joe and TK are gonna get, like, their episodes. Again, like, what I would assume had I not already seen this. But yeah, we're kind of into that. But at the same time, with that in mind, thinking about it, we've already had 5 of the 7 have their episodes, so likely we're gonna get to another plot point soon. Maybe. Probably.
I feel like that's a final thought.
You're right, it is, but it's plot related, I guess. I'll probably bring that up again later, but
plot adjacent.
Plot adjacent, yeah. So overall, like, yeah, I think the individual episodes work for the most part. They're not as good, I think, as the first couple episodes where, like, the initial danger started happening. Now it's a little bit more like we're just seeing some of the extra weird stuff that's just there for some reason, and no one can explain it.
Building.
But still, yeah. So, like, yay.
I'm gonna give this a meh. I didn't really, I don't know, feel super invested one way or the other, but I thought it was solid, but I could feel myself zoning out a little bit, which might be a me problem. I'm just gonna give it a meh.
It's definitely not a you problem. The plots are super simple.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna also give this a meh. Like, I kind of get that this is more of a character showcase right now. So, I'm not going to be too mad about it, but still, I feel like there could have been, like, a little bit more that we could have used for plot otherwise, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm overall a light nay. I have one big criticism about these 3 weeks episodes, and I was debating whether to talk about it in plot or characters. I think I'm going to save it for characters because it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, so, oh boy. But yeah, as far as the individual episodes, yeah, they're, each trying to survive a dangerous situation with a dangerous Digimon, and, it's, your standard who's going to be the hero of the week, who's going to step up to save the day, and yeah, I do have to admit, I do understand where CheerandCosplay is coming from, where, these are kids. The youngest is, 8 or 9, something like that, and the oldest is probably, 13, 14, and yeah, these are dangerous-ass digital monsters that could easily kill them if they didn't have their little pets with them. So, in that sense, it does elevate the plot above other shows, because it is life or death. So, I think that's that kind of...
7, and everyone else is 12.
Okay, even better. So, yeah, it's, it does elevate it a little bit, and has more stakes to it. So, yeah. I'll give light yay to plot.
A little weird how you just used my full name, but okay.
I had a brain fart. I'm sorry. I had a brain fart. I was just kind of like, oh shit. Because you think about not using the person's real name, and so it's like, okay, oh shit, I used the full handle name. Fuck.
Do you feel like a parent just called you by your full name?
Yeah, am I in trouble?
CheerandCosplay.
Okay.
So
I'm taking characters.
Yeah, you're taking characters.
I'm gonna give this a full yay. I will say the repetition, like, I feel like with these episodes, I know a lot of you guys were struggling with how many characters they introduced at the beginning, but as we get, like, these character spotlights and they're saying the names over and over again with the Digimon, it makes it very easy to remember who they are. And it really helps having, like, the actual name flying around on screen when they digivolve. Like, love that for us. The characters are all working super well together still. Like, even though this is very character spotlight episode of the week, each individual character has nothing to play on if they don't have all of the other characters with them. So that works really well for me. I will now fully say after these episodes, Elle, you're probably the only one who gets... Man, Ty is the dick! Ty is the fucking dick!
Yeah.
All throughout our childhood, we were told it was Matt, but it was Ty all along. He's really just, like, inconsiderate. And I don't understand how as a child we were like, yeah, you go, sir.
Probably because we were him.
Yeah.
You don't have to say we were obnoxious 12-year-olds.
We're...
Everyone
Yeah,
was
it's the hair,
obnoxious
clearly.
12-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, but... I mean, they all have their own character flaws, obviously. But, like, Ty's at this point aren't being really held up as, like, a flaw. Like, no one's really admonishing a lot of his behavior. So, like, he's my only, like, Otherwise, I'm very happy with the cast.
Yeah, not to get off topic, but Ty's not really going to get that sort of, like, dealt with until,
much later.
That thing in the arena. I don't want to spoil anything, but the thing in the arena. After they get the next... Yeah. So, that's a while away, and we got way more stuff to deal with. I'm actually a bit of a meh here. Despite the fact that these are character showcases, other than Izzy's thing with, like, a little bit of, like, oh, he's got, like, some baggage and stuff, I really don't think I learned anything about Mimi or Sora or Biyomon or Palmon or, honestly, even Tentamon a little bit. Like, I hate to say it, the Digimon, despite the fact that they do feel like they're supposed to have individualized personalities and stuff like that, they are supposed to play off of their human counterparts, I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of characterization out of them. I feel like maybe they were also doing the human character stuff better in the last couple episodes, so I'm kind of just meh here. I don't think we learned anything about Sora or Mimi. Like,
Sora's the mom.
Some of the stuff that's done is still done well here for the most part, but I don't know. I think they could have standed to do a little better with it.
I feel like it was pretty solid overall, but once again, I don't have super strong feelings. I don't know what it was about these episodes that I just was feeling very neutral towards everything. I guess it's kind of a meh again.
Yeah, I will also give it a meh. Mostly for the fact that, like, I don't know. Like, I get that we get to see a little bit more of their interactions and everything, but I'm still a little bit, I'm not really attached. Also, I don't care how many times you flash their fucking names up on the screen. I'm still not gonna remember it. because they immediately revert back to their smaller form.
Well, they say both.
So I'm gonna learn those a lot faster.
Yeah, but the thing
There's
is
too
like,
many.
they're also flashing the smaller form's name. That's what I meant.
No, it's not reinforcing anything. This brain is not taking any of it in. It doesn't help the fact that there are like 6 of them? 6 or 7 of them?
7 humans, 7 Digimon, 14 characters.
Yeah, so, like, the humans are fine, because their names all stay the same. I'm just like, there are too many Digivolutions for me to memorize here. And my brain is really good at memorizing names. But not right now. So it's not helping me. Also, I did not grow up with this show. So I don't even have that as like a nostalgia thing to help me remember it. So, yeah. I'm like, it's a meh.
I for a kid show, the characters aren't bad. But I mentioned something that was a big complaint for me, and this was the biggest complaint I had about these 3 episodes. Maybe it was the case in the first 3 episodes and I didn't notice, but I especially noticed this in the in these 3 episodes. Nobody shuts the fuck up in this show. Not counting the opening and the ending. I checked. There was up to 5 seconds of stretching where somebody didn't say anything. Literally, somebody has to say something. Whether it be moving the plot forward or just something random or someone bitching or complaining. Everyone has to say something at least every 3 to 5 seconds. And to me, that was annoying the shit out of me. I know it's customary for a kid show to do that, but you just have people, like it just kept going on and on and on and on.
Honestly,
and like I don't hate these characters, but it's just like shut up for 10 seconds and let the atmosphere do the
can
talking.
I tell you about that? That's a Saban thing. That's not a Digimon thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, this feels more like a production thing than it is.
Yeah, the same thing was happening at like,
because they're just cracking jokes here and there, and I'm just like, this feels like a late 90s, early 2000s Saturday morning.
That's exactly what it is.
So it wasn't the original so the original Japanese didn't do that. It was just
if you look, there's a bunch of times where like someone's speaking, their mouth ain't moving, or they're like off screen.
Oh no!
Saban does not like dead air. Plain and simple.
So is there a reason?
They think you're gonna lose their attention.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a Saban thing, which I feel like we probably brought up during like Samurai Pizza Cats and some shit like that.
Okay, take that entire rant I just did, copy, paste, delete from this section, and move forward to the production segment.
Okay, so what's your actual thing for this then?
It's still a meh. I like I said, I don't hate any of the characters, but like what Al was saying, either you get a little glimpses of some characters, but other characters are just kind of there. Like the Sora stuff, yeah, it's meant to empower her, I suppose, but you don't really know much more about her. Izzy, yeah, you definitely get a little bit more about him, but the Mimi stuff, it's like, yeah, she saves the day, but again, you don't really know much more about her yet. So other than, she's a typical, I don't want to say valley girl, but a typical shopaholic, fashionista type of stuff. So honestly, it's more of, honestly, the Digimon get more development because each time they specifically state that they evolve into their most powerful form when their masters are in danger, when they need to protect them the most. So it's like, okay, I can get behind that. You can only use it when it's absolutely necessary and to save the day. That's interesting. So yeah, it's a meh for me.
It's funny that you think these are their most powerful forms.
Okay, I know nothing about Digimon, damn it. We've already discussed this.
I'm gonna give this I also give this a light yay. This one a light yay too. Since these episodes were just character spotlights, I feel like this kind of ties into plot a little bit too, but I think of all the characters, I really only like Sora and Yeehaw Aerith and Big Brother Cloud.
I'm gonna be really honest, Cece. When I saw their character designs, I'm like, oh, she's literally just Aerith with a cowboy hat, and he's literally just Cloud, but his shirt is green.
He's
even got the gloves and like the kind of like attitude and the face, and I'm just like damn, they stole Final Fantasy characters for this show.
Yeah, Aerith.
New cosplay crossover?
I mean, we can do it if you want.
I'm sorry. Unlike Chibi, I'm horrible with names, and I'm not going to even bother.
All of these guys are probably Final Fantasy characters in some shape or form.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably.
And I don't even know Final Fantasy.
Hang on, no.
So it's great.
One of them is Ray from Free. The blue hair and glasses?
Joe?
The red glasses?
Joe?
Yeah, Joe. He looks like Ray from Free. A little bit. Because he's kind of like, even just sort of like, he's got that weird attitude with like, everything has to like go a certain way, and he's like fucking panicking about everything. And I'm just like, why does this remind me of something? Anyway.
Okay, if we're gonna go that route, I think Ty reminds me of Sonic.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna say Ty even has like, not maybe an attitude, but he kind of has the Sora hair a little bit, like from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, definitely.
And anyway, I like the episodes focusing on those two because I enjoy them the most. Are you good?
I'm still laughing over that. I'm sorry. I just didn't expect that.
I feel...
Oh, wait. Shit. I just thought of something else. So, Mimi's Digimon, with the one Digivolution, that looks like a cactus.
Oh!
Looks like a cactar in
Yep.
Final Fantasy.
Yep. Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm done. I'll stop.
Keep going.
Okay. I don't
Who's
really...
Barrett?
Who's what?
Who's Barrett?
Oh,
What's Barrett?
Leomon.
Oh my god! Oh, no. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Boy, do I wish I knew Final Fantasy.
No hesitation. Barrett is Leomon.
Yes. Whoa, that's sad now.
Barrett's the one party member, the big black guy with the giant ass chain.
He's the last party member.
So we have to...
He has a child.
Now we have to do... Oh, that's TK.
Yeah.
Now we have to do Final Fantasy as Digimon.
Okay.
Or vice versa. No, Final Fantasy is Digimon. There we go.
Yeah. I'm not particularly attached to any of the Digimon themselves. It's still weird to me that they can, like, change back and forth. Like, I understand why they do it, but that makes it kind of weird that their name changes too, I think.
Again, it's not, like, a universal Digimon experience.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of very specific to Digimon with tamers.
Yeah. Well, I think they're partners in this one, but...
Oh, no, it's like the Digidestined in this one.
Yeah.
So, like, I like the characters, and I liked the characters that were featured this time. If Big Brother's not going to be featured next time, I'm not going to be as happy.
Who's Big Brother? Matt?
Cloud, yeah.
He already got his.
You got his?
Yeah, it was last time.
When was his?
He
At
was
the lake
sea
with the
serpent
giant...
one.
Yeah.
I don't remember last... There was a sea serpent? I don't
Technically
remember
a
that
lake
long ago.
serpent, but...
I remember phone booths.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
about it.
that was the episode
that was
before
the episode before. Yeah, his little four-armed dude turned into a wolf tiger.
I think I remember that because it happened again this time.
Okay.
Cool. I'll take us into advertising now. I'm a yay because I like Digimon. Well, I mean, if I'm gonna actually go into it, they are doing the thing of like, hey, repeat the names of the stuff over and over again. Does it work for everybody? No, apparently.
No.
But
No.
I mean, it worked for me when I was a kid. And, you know, every single episode, we're getting at least 2 or 3 new creatures. And I'm remembering them, which is, well, we're not going to get into comparisons yet. But, you know, things are getting bigger and badder and crazier. And I'm enjoying that. So, yeah, I'll give it a yay.
Yeah, I'll give it a light yay. I feel like it is doing what it's trying to do, and I feel like for the most part, the monsters are pretty memorable.
I will say for advertising for me, I'll give it like a light yay, because it is like sort of showing like the creatures, like the Digimon doing the evolutions like the little like toy does, because again they're like Tamagotchis.
They have transforming
toys too. We're on advertising, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. My brain. So, and then like even then when they like showed the Digivices, like I feel like it's like good product placement for like the toys themselves. So I feel like this is doing like a decent job. Also just sort of showing like, hey, if you have this creature, this is what your thing will turn into. And then this is the next one after that. But obviously like this is probably maybe like more of a more specialized sort of like version of this, because I'm assuming that if they're like Tamagotchis, they're probably gonna sort of operate the same way for the actual toys. So yeah.
Well, we've already covered that you have to feed them.
Yeah, you have to feed and play.
Yeah, it's a light yay for me. I mean, Digimon has lasted this long for a reason. You know, the monsters are, you know, creatively designed, and, you know, I can imagine kids growing up wanting to get their own digital monsters, whether it's through the cards, through the games, or through the anime. So, yeah, it's a light yay.
I'll give it a light yay, too. Like, obviously they're doing something right, like everybody's been saying. Just minus a point for bitterness. Previous grudges is held by a toddler. What came first with this franchise?
The toy.
The toy?
Yeah,
the
I think it was,
Tamagotchi.
it was one of those, like, Tamagotchis are for girls, Digimon are for boys, kind of arbitrary thing.
Cool. Can you imagine being isekai'd into the world of Tamagotchi and then they all start trying to kill you?
It's called Neopets.
They're like, bitch, you didn't feed me. Time to eat you. Yeah, I have to give it a full yay. After the last episode we did with Digimon, I did actually go out and buy the latest Digimon game, because I love Digimon and it worked to rekindle that. I will tell you this, in the game, not only do you have to feed them, you have to take them potty.
Yep.
Which is really weird when some of them look like humans. They're like,
What, like
bathroom.
The flaming naked gentleman that was in episode 4?
Like, it's really weird, because they'll just, like, start complaining they need to go to the bathroom, and if you don't do it, they'll shit themselves.
Yep.
I feel like one of the things Digimon really excelled at is, like, they didn't kind of, like, put, like, a niche for, like, who could be interested in the show and developing other Digimon. Like, if you want cute things, there are cute ones. If you want pretty things, there are pretty ones. If you're into, like, zombies and androids, there's Andromon. Like, there's kind of something, I feel like, that appeals to, like, everyone in here somewhere. You know, it's not just cute little monster dudes. Or ugly little monster dudes that are kind of cool. Like, you have so many options. But to Chibi saying, like, oh, hey, this is what you get, and this is what it turns into. That is actually a no.
Oh.
Every Digimon has multiple Digivolution lines it can take, and some games don't let you control it. So it just kind of depends on how well you took care of them.
That's interesting. Okay, so moving on into production. We know where Envy's thoughts are, but Yin, where are yours?
Well, I did not notice the constantly talking thing. But I don't know. I feel like the production's pretty good overall for the time that it's in, and I feel pretty similar to how I did the first go around. I don't know if there's anything particularly different about it, so I'll probably give it a light yay.
I'd say for production, I'll probably give it, like, somewhere between, like, a meh and a light yay. Like, I didn't really, like, find that there was anything to, like, really write home about, but, like, it wasn't, like, terrible, so, yeah.
Despite what I said about the constant talking, I didn't hate the look of the show. I thought it had some good action and good animation for its time, and like I said, the world and the monsters and the designs are pretty creative, and obviously, at least the American version of the theme song is iconic as hell, so there's that. But yeah, it was, maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe I wasn't paying much attention to the other Saban shows, because like even with Power Rangers, yeah, there was sound effects all the time, but there wasn't dialogue all the time. So yeah, it was just kind of, maybe it was just how I was feeling this week watching it, but I'll be fair and give it a light yay, but, or high meh to a light yay, because again, that dialogue thing did bother me, I have to admit, but it wasn't horrible either.
I'll give it a light yay. I don't really have anything to complain about, and I don't remember what I said last time we watched this, but I don't think I have anything different that I'd say about it.
Okay. I think I'm also somewhere between a meh and a light yay. Some of the animation is just really ugly. Like, yeah, for its time, it's good, but like, some of it, man, it's just not pleasant to look at. I really, yeah, their dubbing choices for this, it was a little weird. I get that, like, they're bouncing back and forth between, like, 7 people, so, like, the narrative is split, so, like, as soon as someone's done talking, you're off to the next one. So I feel like they could have paced it a little bit better, and like you said, let the atmosphere more speak for itself. Like, in the desert, in episode 6, they did not need to be constantly talking during that opening. Like, I feel like if you're exhausted and, like, bordering on heat stroke, you're not gonna be constantly, like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you just gradually get pissed at each other, then drink cactus juice and lose your shit.
Careful, you're gonna have to kill one of your teammates to drink cactus juice.
Yeah, is that like her pee?
Oh like god. Ho. We already talked about bathwater. We're not going there.
Blood? What is that to the cactus thing?
Let's not.
Yeah, we're not. So, yeah, like, I do agree, it has some issues, but overall it holds up pretty solidly.
So, in kind of comparing this to what it was the last time that we watched this, I really praised it a lot for, like, a lot of the dynamic camera angles that they were using, and the art style, and a whole lot of stuff, and a lot of the dub was actually pretty funny in the first 3 episodes. In comparison to that, I think it's gone down a little bit. I'm seeing some more repeat animation. The jokes aren't always landing as much. You know, it's good. It's good. It's not great, but here's why I'm giving it a full yay. We're finally getting to the really weird and interesting monster designs and stuff, which I am here for. Because before it was like, okay, we have giant dinosaur, giant wolf, giant bug. Now, RoboCop with tit missiles that shoot Gatling guns. Okay, we have taken ass. Now the LSD is kicking in and it's getting interesting. Slug people that throw shit at people. Hypnosis laser-eyed giant teddy bear. Like, you're just throwing out adjectives and nouns randomly, and I'm kind of here for it, and I want it to get weirder. And yeah.
Weirder.
No.
Remember the literal shit Digimon?
I wasn't gonna tell anyone, but yes, that is I'm pretty sure that's the Digivolve form of those slug guys. And weirdly enough,
their Digilution?
Yeah, I think so. And weirdly enough, that shit creature becomes the teddy bear. It's so weird. But I love that.
One of its incarnations.
I love that weird. So, yeah. Yeah, full yay for me. We move on to final thoughts. Chibi, what's your final thoughts?
I think overall, my final thoughts are... I'll give this somewhere between a meh to a light yay. Like, it's got some, you know... There are a couple things I'm a little bit about, but then there are other things I'm like, you know what, they're doing pretty okay. So I'm kind of just like, you know, sort of in the middle. Like, I'm not, like, really bored, but I'm also just kind of like, you know, this is okay, but I'd watch it in the background, maybe.
Yeah, I'm kind of a light yay. I think the mystery of the Digi world is what's making me really interested in watching more. Like, like what Kozi was saying, you're getting a little bit of, oh, these black circle disc thingies are making the Digimon go corrupt and basically bloodthirsty. And so what's the deal with that? Why? Well, what is the deal with this Digi world? It's largely prehistoric Earth in design, but then there's random ass modern stuff like the bus or the phone booths or, you know, stuff like that. So how the hell does this Digi world work? And who's behind it? Because you bet your ass there's probably an evil corporation behind it, because that's the thing with these shows. So in that sense, yeah, the characters, they do have good banter off of each other. I just wish the banter was maybe a little bit more spaced out, but that's just probably a me thing. But I still give it a light yay.
And we figured it out as Microsoft all along. Fucking Windows 7.
It's the metaverse.
Well, no, this would have been Windows 98.
Windows Vista.
God, Windows 98.
Woof. Okay, I think I gave a light yay in every single category, so I don't think I can give final thoughts anything but a light yay. Yep, I'm trying to be fair about this. I do have a slight personal bias still, but I am trying to be open-minded. I would keep watching it.
Were you the type of person that was Pokemon rules, Digimon drills?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting you weren't here the last time we talked about this.
I just know that there was the big rivalry back in the day where you were not allowed to like both, damn it. You had to pick a side, damn it.
The wars, man. The wars.
I don't know why, but I definitely bought into it, and I was like, Pokemon is my thing. Digimon can go fuck itself. We did watch a lot of it, but I did not care for it.
Okay. Al, it was bothering me, so I did look it up. The slime can digivolve directly into Monzamon. But the shit can either evolve into a higher ranked shit or the evil monkey.
Oh, wait. What about the mouse that's on the shit?
I don't think it does anything.
I could have swore he was his own thing. But how does this slug turn into Monzamon? Monzamon is an ultimate level.
I don't know. It's listed as a direct evolution, though. Oh, Chumon. Oh, Chumon can turn into the Tyrannomon.
Okay. That's a big upgrade for that.
Okay,
Anyways, like, obviously I'm a yay here. Like I said, like, I loved Digimon as a kid. It was kind of one of those things, you know, I eventually put it down and didn't really, like, look at it for a really long time, and, like, going back like this is kind of, like, re-sparked my love for it. Like, I want to binge all of the fucking series. Like, not just limited to this. Like, I want to keep going with all the other series. And, like, I know where this plot is going, but, like, I don't remember the specifics, so, like, I'm still excited with each episode.
I'm in the exact same boat. I want to watch more of this. I mentioned a thing in plot. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm going to give this a light yay, because I think overall these 3 episodes were not as good as their first 3. But I'm still excited, and I still want to give it a yay, and I still want to keep going. So yeah,
well,
light yay for me.
Here's where that plot thing that you misplaced would come in, where...
You know what? That's a good point.
The character spotlights are over.
If I'm pretending like I've never seen this, and we're going by what we've been going on here, we're gonna get 2 more episodes of, hey, we're gonna do a character spotlight, and then 1 episode of, but bam, it's plot time, and I'm down to see plot time.
I feel like I gave most everything a meh, and I kind of still feel meh. I think it's pretty good for the most part, but maybe just not my style. But I think it's very good for this kind of show. I just am having trouble like focusing on it and staying invested in it, which is probably just more me and my personal taste. But I feel like it's very solid in what it does, so I'm just gonna give it a meh.
Okay, any other thoughts
It's
before
really
we...
like, fuck them kids, I don't care.
You don't really like Survivor type stories that
I
often.
don't really. It's
Like,
probably my taste. That's what I'm telling
what's your
you.
least favorite book?
My least favorite book is a fucking like Swiss Family Robinson or Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah.
I'm not a big survival story person.
I gotta show you Castaway at some point and just watch you freak the fuck out.
Oh my gosh. Can I watch?
Yes.
Watch the movie or
Enjoy.
watch Yin?
Watch me freak out.
Both.
You know what?
Okay.
I'll probably be right there with you stressing out.
Should we count with the volleyball?
Oh, ooh, yeah.
It's not even that I'm stressed, I'm just bored. It's like the opposite problem.
No, yeah, I know. Okay, well, let's finish this up and compare these two. Envy, you're taking us into plot. Who's getting your yay?
I enjoyed some things of Yokai, but I'll be honest, Digimon actually had an overarching plot. It was moving along. Yeah, were they, standard, escape the monster of the week? Yes, but at the same time, it's still setting up the intrigue and mystery of the world, and, it is a survival story. So, yeah, it's Digimon, easily for me.
Do we have to go through the formalities of this?
Yes.
Ugh. Okay, Digimon gets my plot.
To no surprise, I am also Digimon. I feel like, yes, it's very episodic plot right now, but they've not only kind of set up intrigue, but they're also maintaining a level of mystery over the whole thing. Whether or not you want to, solve that mystery is up to personal taste, but... End of thought.
Cool, I'm Digimon. It has a plot, and the other one didn't fucking have anything. Yeah.
Digimon.
Digimon.
That's a sweep if I've ever seen one. So, Cece, who gets your yay for characters?
Definitely Digimon. They are cute little guys, even if they're not my cute little guys.
Yep, still Digimon.
I kind of gave both of these shows a meh because I didn't think either of them did anything particularly outstanding this week. But I hate Nate, and I don't hate any of the Digimon people, so I'm going to give it to Digimon.
I'll also give it to Digimon.
Digimon.
Yeah, I didn't really hate any of the characters in Digimon, and Mangy Mutt really fell off a cliff and into the ravine. So, yeah, Digimon.
And
That's
Digimon
another
deserves to be
queen.
with the slimes.
Oh, wouldn't that be funny to see? Kozi, why don't you take us into advertising? Who gets your yay?
Still gotta be Digimon. While I feel like Yo-kai Watch, it definitely has a franchise. I don't know how alive and well it is, but we aren't the target audience, so it's very hard to connect with it in any sort of meaningful way, or to want to further my experience into the Yo-kai Watch world. I don't want to go out of my way to spend money on it.
Yeah, I'm also going with Digimon. I'm more interested in what they're showing me and what they're trying to get me interested in. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the monsters have just been more consistently good and memorable in Digimon, so I'll go with Digimon.
Yeah, I'm also giving it to Digimon. I had a thought, but it's actually just left my head, so I'll just be quiet.
Your thoughts head empty.
Yeah, Digimon.
Are we on advertising?
Yep.
Characters.
Advertising.
Oh, yeah.
So I already went for characters. Advertising is Digimon. I am interested in checking out the Yo-kai Watch game. But other than that, I'm kind of over it. Digimon, I'd be fine with still watching it.
I'm kind of right there with you on that. Maybe we should play a Yo-kai Watch game just to see what it's actually supposed to be like.
Probably like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, I like Pokemon.
Yeah, but I feel like the caveat here is...
The game.
Would you be willing to spend money on it? Or would you just pirate it?
Bruh, I got some
We
emulators that I've
would
been
never
working off of.
condone pirating, but we
Is it an...
definitely might go dolphin spotting.
Can I ask, is it a Nintendo game? I'm assuming it's a Nintendo game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 3DS
well,
game.
then it's not available, so your piracy is your only option sometimes. I'm taking this into production. I give it to Digimon. Androids with tit guns.
I think we have now firmly established L's a tit man, but also an ass crack man.
Depends on the day of the week.
Ayo.
Were you a big fan of Austin Powers?
But I was younger. It aged very poorly.
It really did. I remember you made me watch
sure
that.
did.
Oh. You didn't see the sequels.
Oh boy.
I think it's the second one. The first scene she has the tit guns.
Dude, the tit guns are in every single movie.
Are they?
Machine gun
Yep.
Ghiblis.
I haven't seen those movies since I was 2.
Well, Patreon
Oh,
content.
wow, you watched it when you were 2?
I question your parents a little bit.
Oh, it wasn't the parent. It was the uncle who was a teenager.
This
Oh.
is Patreon content, but I will talk about this after the show. We can come back to
Okay.
this.
That makes sense. Am I up?
Yeah, production.
Okay. I felt similarly about both of these in terms of production. They're both pretty okay. But if I have to come down to it, I'm gonna say I like the songs for Digimon better, so I'll just give it to Digimon.
I shall abstain.
If I was going to watch the original Japanese version of not Yo-kai Watch, of Digimon, I'd probably give Digimon, but because we watched the Saban one, I'm going to give production to Yo-kai Watch.
God damn, we get their first vote.
Yeah.
And we broke
Again,
the
it's
sweep.
it's just a personal thing. It's just a personal thing.
Yo-kai Watch had, I guess, slightly better animation. It was a little bit cleaner because it's more recent, but the songs drive it all the way down for me. So I'm gonna give it to Digimon.
Digimon.
Digimon still wins production. Yeah, I was wondering if this was going to be a full sweep, but yeah, nope, not
And
today.
we broke
Moving into final
it.
thoughts.
I ruined it.
Yin, we're just getting your final
Final
thoughts.
thoughts. Well, if I have to think about which one I'd rather continue watching, I gave a nay to Yo-kai Watch and I gave a meh to Digimon, so I will go with Digimon.
I'll watch more Digimon. Yo-kai Watch can go in a toilet.
Wait, Toilet Ghost.
They probably have a yokai for that, yeah.
I'll be
They
fire
do.
in your
It's Han-
bathroom.
It's Hanako of the toilet.
Yeah, but Ghost Stories did that.
Mm-hmm.
And Hanako-kun.
Yeah, Digimon. Like, I didn't mind Yo-kai Watch. I probably liked it the most out of everyone here. But yeah, I can't deny that Digimon was more entertaining and more engaging, and is probably going to lead to something more interesting. So yeah, Digimon.
Digimon.
Take Yo-kai Watch and throw that bitch in the trash.
You don't have to leave the country.
Well, I mean, am I surprising anyone when I say Digimon?
No.
Of course I'm not. Digimon takes everything. Digimon wins everything. I think it was mostly because Yo-kai Watch was not great. But
Yeah.
hey, Digimon takes everything except for one vote.
One vote.
That one vote. But with the rest of that score, I'm gonna say they're moving on.
Yep.
Does anyone have anything else to say about Yo-kai Watch?
There are 213 episodes of it.
Fuck.
Oh,
Hold
wow,
up. Is
shit.
that because here's the thing? They have like A's and B's because they're vignettes. Is that 213 individual like stories?
There's
Individual episodes.
there's like four. Not only is there 4 games, there's like I looked this up the other day when I watched it. There's like at least 4 movies, 4 series of it, 4 games. It didn't catch on in America,
so
but in
big in
Japan, it must have
Japan.
been.
How the fuck
Yeah,
do
it
you
must
make
have
a
got-
movie out of
When
this?
I tell you it was a soulless cash grab, they churned out as much of it as they could, as quickly as they could.
well, I'm happy to not talk about it anymore. Unless we find a game, I'll check out a game. But for now, we can just talk about the fact that Digimon moves on. It is the winner of the Monster Friends category, and will go on to face whoever is gonna win next week when we get back around to the Battle Toys category. We have our last battle of the quarterfinals.
Oh boy.
This is gonna be fun. It's Battle Beatamon again versus Beyblade. So this is gonna be weird.
Drag the tournament out another week, but I really feel like we could maybe do the one we all obviously think is gonna be the loser next week with Yo-kai Watch to see which one is more intolerable.
No, we're good.
Yeah, because Yo-kai Watch winning would be my least favorite out of this tournament personally, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, so come back for that, and we'll after next week we'll have our final four, and then I think there's only 3 episodes after that. We'll be done. We'll crown a winner and move on with our lives, and maybe go buy some toys. I don't know. We'll find out next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!